Like, share, subscribe, hit the super chat challenge. Yes, yes. BGS. I'm ready for these people. For those of you that haven't peeped, link in the description. Um, I don't know if BGS knows that I already made a video critiquing or speaking about the conversation between FD Signifier and the brothers on Bernard Riley's channel from yesterday, right? So yeah, um I have an open invitation. Any one of these um intersectional feminists, lefties could come on. I mean, I don't mean that in any pejorative way or any I will be cordial, I will be respectful. These people, they should already know, but to be frank, the only people that would ever really probably do that, let's say, and even the divestors, any one of these people could pull up, right? But particularly speaking about the black bread tube, um intersectional left, you know air quotes progressives, because I don't really see them as progressives, to be frank. um yeah, open invitation. you know um I think they have some very warped views. I think they're not honest about the interplay between men and women, particularly in the black community. I think they're attempting to push a project that's going to fail, and it's already failing, as you've noted, BGS. Um, yeah, I think you pinned him to the wall with speaking about, and I'm speaking about BGS speaking to FD Signifier on Bernard Riley's channel. I think you pinned him to the wall when you spoke about how the women are rejecting this, the primary breadwinner role. They don't want to have that conversation, right? They don't want to have the conversation about women's hypocrisy. They don't want to have the conversation that they never actually socialized the women for what leadership role actually looks like and feels like. Not just the glitz and glamour and yes, the first black mayor here and the first black this, what it actually looks like, right? Oprah married Stedman yet? Yikes, right? They don't want to have that conversation, right? So yeah, I have an open invitation, and we could talk politics, we could talk social issues, we could talk the dynamics between black men and black women, black men and black women intimacy, DV. You could bring it, right? Black boys and black men not being in college to nearly the rate of black women and black girls, right? We could, whatever, wherever they want to go with it, and what that mean for. As a matter of fact, I could do the whole let's hyper focus on the black women and girls, and then we could talk about how y'all don't even know how to be selfish correctly on that side, right? And I think that deserves its own video and its own title. How the black left doesn't even actually know how to be selfish. Particularly, let me rephrase that. The black intersectional left doesn't even know how to be selfish right. You won't even produce enough boys and men for your little project. You won't even produce enough boys and men, or make it worse. Let's do one worse. You don't even protect the boys and men that are actually even born into upper middle class situations. That was something else that we found from the Brookings Institute a couple years ago, right? A few years ago. About 70% of black boys that are born to upper middle class situations drop down. In other words, Sarge Willie Pete is part of the 30% that didn't actually fall back down. For those of you that know Sergeant Willie Pete's background, a little bit that he has told us on the internet, right? He's one of the few, him and his brother possibly, right? But remember, every generation, it starts over. So if his brother has children, his brother has a son, let's see, right? These people don't actually want to have a good faith real conversation. But if they do, then the entire black manosphere need to be ready, right? Be ready so you don't have to get ready, or stay ready so you don't have to get ready, right? And I'm glad that yeah, he admitted that the black community is a matriarchy. He admitted that the black community is a matriarchy. Cool. And that comes with responsibilities, ladies, right? And y'all have been doing a kick-ass job at being leaders, haven't you? Not, right? If the goal is to make yourself seem more sensible, FD, brother, I don't know, right? You don't have to be part of those misogynists over there in the black manosphere. You could be over here with the a-hole women like Kim Foster and the snarky women and the LGBTQ that look at you like there's something wrong with you for being a straight black man that likes women and likes vagina. You could be over here with us. Train tracks, right? You could be over here with us. Us more reasonable folks over here in the intersectional left of the black community. You know, the ones that have contempt for straight black men but refuse to say we have contempt for straight black men, even though we show that we have contempt for straight black men. Right? You know, those of us that have been benign neglecting straight black boys and men for, I don't know, decades. You know, the ones of us that sold out the civil rights movement to white women. Right? Those of us that did that. You could be here with us. Right? So yeah, I'm ready. Shout out to BGS. I'm not gonna stay too long. Right. But shout out to BGS. Shout out for the shout out. Thank you for the shout out. But yeah, no, we're ready. We're ready over here. Right. And the sneak, the sneak 2008 says FD is trying to convert black men to his space. He's trying to get the black manosphere to convert him into the black manosphere. Hey, BGS did say it won't change you. Stop playing with it, FD. You better do what you came to do over here and leave before you it starts changing you. And I suspect it already has. I suspect it already has. I suspect you feel a sense of camaraderie over here that you will never feel over there with those intersectional feminists, because they have contempt for you, brother. All you're doing right now is carrying their water. They have contempt for you. Right? And I'm glad that when I knew that was gonna happen, right? But yeah, but as I recall it, if I can recall it correctly, when BGS said what he said, something happened in the conversation, and Bernard O'Reilly, I said Bernard O'Reilly. Sorry, Bernard, definitely not Bernard O'Reilly. Bernard Riley had to, interject and it kind of got off on that part. But that's something very important to focus on. The intimacy part of the black community is very important. Like, we talk about it on some culture war thing, but no, what's going on between black men and black women, or what's not going on between black men and black women, is very important. And it actually affects our politics. People being bitter about who they can't get and who's not attracted to them affects their politics. We have to be honest about that, right? So when BGS speaks about the black women not wanting to be the primary breadwinners, right? That's important. That needs to be something that's just not like some little, side comment or treated as a side comment. It needs to be understood. Either y'all did a crap job at attempting to socialize the women to accept their role as the primary breadwinners, as the educated class, as the petite bourgeoisie, and the responsibility, importantly, the responsibility, one more time, of being the professional managerial class in the petite bourgeoisie of the y'all didn't actually even try. So did you actually even try? And it's looking like you didn't. It's looking like your ideological side didn't even put in a any good faith effort, any real attempt, right, at socializing girls and women for this newfound power and influence, right, and position, and the contempt they have for having this. I want to be very clear what I'm saying. The contempt they have for their power and influence, and them not being able to live that power couple fantasy that y'all keep on allowing to be put on television, affects their politics. It affects the way they advocate and who they advocate for. Like I said, they don't even know how to be selfish right. Right? And I don't know who's streaming right now. I don't know, I listened to BGS and I had the time, and it's the little bit of time that I have right now. So I just wanted to come in and just, say this for a little bit and get off. So if I'm stepping on any toes, my apologies. I'll be out the way in a minute. Right? But it needs to be said that this project has, and thank you, BGS, for saying it, feminism has failed. Everything from laying flat in China to the hikikomori in Japan to the similar, and I don't know what they call it in South Korea, right? To the 60-40 split in college enrollment, to the women screeching and yelling and screaming about not having men on their level, to the lowering birth rate, to the lowering marriage rate, to turning marriage, and this is capitalism and feminism that did this, turning marriage into an elite institution, right? All of that can be laid at the feet of feminism, or feminism is partially to blame. They're one of the co-conspirators, or it's one of the co-conspirators, better yet. And y'all gonna have to reconcile that with the women. Don't come over here no more talking to the men. Don't y'all think y'all badgered the men enough? Don't y'all think y'all badgered black men enough? Y'all don't think y'all called black men sexist and misogynist and homophobic and transphobic enough? No? So BGS, I'm ready for these people to pull up. FD already knows when I spoke to him, I told him whenever he wants, he can always, open invitation. He can always come back and have the conversation, so we can try to figure some stuff out, right? And any one of them, even the ladies, I'll be respectful. I won't try to bark at you. I won't try to insult your intelligence. But y'all have to be honest. Whatever y'all got going on in academia, the black feminists got going on in academia, they did whatever they did for the betterment of black women. Cool. For the better, and I agree with that with conservative and Bernard Riley. If your project was just to do for the women, cool. Just say that, right? Just say that. We just do it for the women. Men get it how you live. We're just doing for the women so that the men could know where they stand, and the women can realize that when you don't have a husband, when you don't even have a baby daddy, when you have no boyfriend, because men are not on your level, and when you get out competed by the cute chick, you know why, right? And when you send your sons to school, and at 10, 12 years old, you realize he can't read, you know why. Because he's supposed to be part of the ConcuSurf class anyway. He don't need to know how to read. He need to know how to lay pipe. He need to have a good gift of gab and know how to flirt with the women, with the girls and then the women. That's what he need to know how to do. If y'all just want to turn black men into the ConcuSurf class, then say that. Right? Then just say that. You know? And no, I did not miss, and I'm glad I listened to the stream again. I didn't miss Rogish telling FD you debate like a white woman. Well, who's the model? Who's the model student in these institutions? Is it not a white girl? If the education system has gone white woman, then the model student is a white girl or a white woman, a white female, right? Now, do you see why certain LGBTQ people comport themselves a certain way? Black women comport themselves a certain way. Asian women comport themselves a certain way. Men of color comport themselves a certain way. Everybody in that has spent too many years in academia, the white woman is gone. That's her realm. That's her space. And you will comport yourself accordingly. You will act accordingly. The soft power of colonialization, white women's education sphere, right? Who's the missionary now? Well, wait a minute. It's still white women. Centuries of being the missionary while her man comes in with the guns. What, you thought her role changed? Right? So let's be very clear what's going on here. These people are talking. FD's the one person that's gonna pull up, right? The rest of them think they're above it. They're gonna sneak this. They're gonna throw shots. Shout out to Kim Foster, but they ain't gonna pull up to nothing, right? They think they're above it. They're above us. There's too many angry black men over here, angry, sexist, misogynistic black men over here, according to them. All we want is to be white patriarchs. Meanwhile, you put a microphone in a black woman's face and let her talk long enough and see if her issue is that she's not a white woman. Right? So that's really the issue here. These people ain't gonna pull up, and most of them don't have lives like that where you could pull up on them. They sneak this and and quite frankly, my project is always okay. How does this look for Black people? That's why y'all see me. I continuously bring up over and I'm gonna bury her with that. Let's bring back. We don't need these Negroes feminism. You saying that during stagflation, Miss Foster? Right? So they sneak this. They take little shots. When somebody responds back to them in kind and they play victim, they're not pulling up. So, me and BGS, I have that conversation either, online or maybe behind the scenes, about how we're gonna go forward with this. But yeah, these people ain't pulling up. They ain't built like that, right? They're not built like that, right? All their theories are falling on it. Their theories are falling apart because the women are screeching. I could understand if the men were the ones complaining and the women were like, no, I'm perfectly okay over here. The women are screeching, right? So they're not gonna pull up, And like I said, shout out to all the people that had the conversation with FD that was on Bernard Riley's channel. Shout out to all of you brothers, right? But yeah, no, and actually shout out to FD for actually staying there and then even coming back and having the conversation. I'll give him that. But if you, I'm not gonna lie, BGS, I don't see any of the rest of them on that intellectual side having that comment. Maybe Rutherford James, maybe, but you know what? There's a couple of brothers. A couple of maybe. I'm thinking about two brothers with dreads. I can't remember their name exactly. Um, three brothers with dreads actually. One of them has a bigger presence on Instagram than he might have on YouTube. Um, I forgot his name. Geez, and FD mentioned him a couple times too. Oh, I forgot his name. Damn it. But yeah, there's a couple of brothers that might pull up. The women are definitely not pulling up. Oh no, they won't even pull up if you pull the whole panel down and it's just you and them having that card. They're not pulling up, and I don't expect them to. Right? But the crazy thing is, they won't even let you pull up to their channel because they don't have open dialogue. Right? Even right now, you have Chrissy and Yanni making fun of the Pearl thing. Ha ha! Look, the white girl. Ha ha ha! Y'all don't even really know what's going on. Y'all don't even know what's really going on. Y'all just, oh, look, an opportunity to make fun of the black men. An opportunity to make fun of black men this year. What? And those women ain't gonna pull. Ain't no, none of those women are gonna pull up. So the men will pull up. I can even see Themis probably pulling up to somebody's channel. But the women, all the women, whether they're divestors or these fake intersectional black women empowerment women, the ones that claim to advocate for black women, but at the same time they're telling black women, bring back, we don't need these Negroes feminism in the middle of stagflation. Right? They ain't built like that. So, I'll have the conversation with BGS and we'll figure out where we go from here. And putting a laser on these people, right? And if we gotta be the reason why you correct, right? And start advocating for black men and boys. And as I said, black people with influence and power and money, it's your mandate, whether you want it or not, to do right by black people. With great power comes great responsibility, Peter Parker. Whether you want to or not, that's your job. And not just advocate for a certain segment. Like I said, y'all don't even know how to be selfish right. How else would you explain black boys that are born into upper middle class situations? Let's say it again, born into some money. 70% of them coming back down? 70? Now, Mr. Z ain't gonna say it ain't white supremacy ain't in there. You know it. Of course. That's a given. But if you think that 70% is not also because of the benign neglect of black boys and men and us making sure we do right by our daughters, but then our sons gotta just get it how they live. If you think that that's not playing a role also, then you're lying and you're being disingenuous. Right? You're not being honest. You're definitely not being honest. Your boys can't read on reading level. Once again, I'll give it, okay, FD, a certain segment, maybe at best double digit, early double digit, 15% of your boys, black boys. 15%, okay, 15, but that's bad. That's really bad. But when so many of your boys can't read on reading level, right? What do we think that is? And like I said, what Freeman Journal did, it was not lost on me, showing you all the school boards, right? With just black woman face, black woman face, black woman face. You got professional black women murdering their sons. You have professional black women whose sons can't read on reading level. So part of being, the petite bourgeoisie of black America and getting your little baby Benz, right? And your little condo is sacrificing your son to the white supremacist gods. Ooh, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud, huh? I wasn't supposed to make y'all feel guilt. Right? So fine, just admit it. We going back to some Native American stuff and we choose you as the sacrifice to the sun god. Right? You the sacrifice to the sun god. Black men and black boys, you're the sacrifice to the sun god. Right? And every day we pick a random black boy or black man and you're the sacrifice. Whether that be prison, whether that be strung out on drugs, whether that be destroyed financially with child support and all type of foolishness, whether that be murdered in the streets by white vigilantes, white racist cops, another black person, right? So that's all it is. And Kareen, by the way, sister, thank you so much. You were the first person. If it wasn't you, it would have been D-Scott. But I recall it being you, was the first person that was like, "Everything's so rude." And I'm like, wait a minute, what did I miss? I was like, this was so random. By the way, in the future, Kareem, I'm gonna need you to give me some context. Because, like, first I was like, what is Kareem talking about? Like, I have to go searching. But if you didn't put out the smoke signal, I would have never knew. Or I would have, well, D Scott would inform me because it was somebody else. It was D Scott and Gender Warlord and Kareem were like the first people I was like, wait a minute, see where you at. Right? So thank you very much for that, Kareem. Thank you. And Kareem says, and thank you for the super chat. And Kareem says, yep, love that Spider-Man reference. They got FD on he could not say how he advocates for black boys. By his admission, he was an educator. FD big fat Kareem saying that. Oh man, right? Let me read that again. By his admission, he was an educator. FD big fat liar and ops. Like Ed says. By the way, off topic, John Wick 4 is dope. Yeah, I saw it. I saw it. Me and my lady and one of my super close friends and his lady went to go see it Sunday. It was really good. Right. I suggest everybody, all the John Wick fans should go see it. Right. Right. Yeah, Indigo. I saw that comment. I definitely saw that comment. Well, I said I saw that. Excuse me. I definitely heard when Rogus said it. Right. And Indigo Flow says Rogus said he would have choked out. He would have choked him out. I know what you're trying to say. In the middle of the barbershop. Right. Y'all don't sleep on FD. Remember, he taking mixed martial arts now. He probably not good yet, but you know. Rogus, I suggest you do that sooner than later. Don't give him a chance to really get good. Right. And yeah, so and going to Kareem's point, y'all don't forget, Ostefco was a teacher also. Don't forget. She might still be. Right? Meanwhile, she's saying she smiled when Will Smith slapped Chris Rock. She smiled. Don't forget the person, Miss Candace McDuffie, right? Whole writer at the root justifying Will Smith slapping Chris Rock. Why does all of this matter? Like I told y'all last night, these are the movers and shakers in the background. Also movers and shakers on social media now. Influencers, literally. Right? Educators. And you see what they think about your sons. What they think about you and your sons. Toya, me too. And Toya says, I'm mad I missed that stream. Right. And I am too, because I'm not the only person on the left that listens to Bernard. Right. So there is something to be said about, this idea that is just conservatives that have a problem with this type of rhetoric. And I don't know. I would like to have a conversation with FD again to see how he responds to what BGS said, because I'm going to if I have a conversation with FD again, or any one of the brothers or sisters on that side, I'm going to bring up that point again and try to get them to address it, which is the women are turning away from what y'all doing. They don't want to be primary breadwinners. How do you deal with that? Black women don't want to be primary breadwinners. Now we know that they are reluctantly grinding their teeth to dust. Right? They want to brag about, this is where class comes in. They want to be over other men. They don't want to be over their man. They want to tell other women, huh, your man can't do this, your man can't do that, right? Your man ain't on my level. Your man is not on my man's level. They want to tell other women that. But they don't actually want to be in a relationship with a man that they're more educated than, earn more money than. They don't want to be the primary breadwinners in those relationships. If you don't believe me, go ask Kim Foster. She said it begrudgingly that she knows she's going to be the primary breadwinner in whatever relationship she would be in. And that was before she got with old boy that she's with now. Right? So this has to be very clearly stated. Maybe we're going to have to start pulling up on them whenever they do their lives, right? But Kim already be like, these people already be on some delete the comment. See, the thing over here is, unless you say something insanely egregious or you might get our channel flagged, we don't delete comments. We let people rock. Sometimes to our own detriment, we let people go. We let people go. We don't exactly censor people over here in the Black Manosphere. Don't say something crazy or insane, something that might get, the host hemmed up or even you hemmed up, but we let people rock. Those people over there, they believe in censorship. They would delete your comment. They will insult you from where they are. So pulling up on them, I'm all for it. Especially if it's going to benefit Black boys and Black men in the near future, even in the more, in the foreseeable future, not in the distant future. I'm not about delaying or deferring justice. Shout out and rest in peace to Martin Luther King. Right? And Heru in the Apocalypse, thank you very much. And he said, get him, Z, and thank you very much for the super chat. Right? What's going on? What's going on? Sand Dog in the house. Right. But yeah, so and I can't wait to have that conversation on Sunday. We'll barring, anything, I'm gonna do my weekly, Sunday wrap up, and we'll have that conversation. Right. And FD, you're welcome to pull up, right? If you want to continue, or if you want to talk to someone on the political left. And yes, I have a system analysis. I do. And that's why I critique the things the way I do. Okay, fine. We're looking out for the women. It's the women time. Cool. How do you incentivize the men and the boys? Y'all got to square that circle. It's the women time, right? And then how do you incentivize the men and the boys? We're going to focus on the women and the girls. We're going to make sure they go to school. We're going to make sure they have degrees, advanced degrees, that they go to nice schools, right? We're going to give them all the tools to have their destiny in their hands, their future in their hands, and not need men. Fine, cool, all right, they don't need men. They have their destiny in their hands. Cool. We're going to open up the space and encourage them to go as far and as fast and as high up as humanly possible. Reach out for the stars. Okay, great. And what of your boys and men, though? You do realize still the majority of women, even in the black community, are still heterosexual. You know that, right? So who are they supposed to end up with? Who are they supposed to end up with? Crickets. Let me make sure I'm saying what I'm saying correctly. The women are telling you, they're telling you, oh yeah, a man that don't earn as much as me, yeah, no, that's a no-go. Right? The women are telling you no struggle love. The women are telling you, oh no, I need a man that's educated on my level or above. Kim Foster told you, yeah, I don't do blue collar. What happened? I'm so glad BGS made that point, and we didn't get a chance to hear FD respond to it, but I would have loved to hear him respond to that. Because on a one-to-one level, that's different if Mr. Z gets rejected by a woman because I'm blue collar and she's not. Cool. On a one-to-one level, it's okay if Mr. Z gets rejected by a woman because she feels like, she's more educated than I am, and oh, he's a little autodidact. Yeah, that's cute, but I went to whatever school. He's not on my level. Even if he earns more than I do, he's not on my level. Definitely if I earn more than him, he's not. That's cool. But what happens when that starts being something that you see recurring in your community? By 25%, 30%, 40%, 50%? What happens when that happens? Now what? Right? Now what? I wanted to make and I said that to him when we had the conversation, but we didn't stick to that point too long. The women are screeching. We have a few channels dedicated to women complaining about men not. Where are the men? Why do I have to do this? Why do I have to struggle like this? I'm tired of this. And then including young women, college age women, women in their mid-20s. This is before we even start speaking about advocating for your sons. Even if y'all want to be selfish, that's why I said y'all don't even know how to do selfish right. Y'all can't even keep the upper tier black men in the space. That's why I'm mentioning the Brookings Institute study that showed 70% of these men come down to working class. 70% of black boys and men, black boys born in upper middle class come down to working class. 70%. Y'all can't even protect your own future husbands. Then you got divestors out here. Well, we're just going to go end up with white men. Good luck. That's because your parents, particularly your mothers, didn't do a good job in protecting those boys and those men and making sure they did well in school, and to put them in position so that you can marry him in 25 years, in 30 years. So now you're 30, you're 28, you're 27, looking for a husband, and who should have been your husband is in working class, and you overlook him. He was born on the same level as you, and you overlook him because now he's working class. Because your class of parent didn't make sure that he stayed in your class. Now you're talking about dating white boys, upper middle class white guys, the ones that are like, the least likely to marry a black woman, the rich and upper middle class white dudes. Yeah. So, brother FD, whenever you want to have that conversation, you could pull up. Preferably not right now, because Mr. Z got to go to sleep. Right. But so coming to a close. Let's see how many times I'm gonna say that before Betty you start counting. Right. Yeah. Shout out to BGS. Thank you for shouting me out. You know, and yeah, we're gonna have to take the left to task. We're going to have to take the political left, the political black left, to task for ignoring the plight of your sons, knowingly ignoring the plight of your sons, to the detriment of your sons and your daughters. Once again, y'all can't even be selfish, right? Notice what I'm not saying. I'm not saying y'all can't even die right. That's really ugly and disgusting. But I am telling you, you can't even be selfish, right? And Betty, you said, I don't. The first one, that's just a warm up. Right. I can't remember who said last night when Better You was like, you go back to school yet? And I can't remember who said in the comments, um it might have been GC that said like he need to drop them 4 jobs first. It's not 4, it's 2. It's still funny though. It's still funny. Right. But yeah, so brother FD, like I said, open invitation to all the black lefties, all you know what? Take that back. To all the lefties. Destiny, you welcome. Hassan Piker, you're welcome. Right? No, not Hassan Piker, sorry. I forgot Hassan's last name. Is that Hassan Piker? No, it's not. I don't think so. Hassan, you're right. Welcome to join. All of the lefties. Black, white, woman, man, trans, cat black, you want to have that conversation? T-Nor, Khadijah, even Kim Foster. Right? Because I actually believe in systems, and I actually believe systems can help make people's life worse or help make people's life easier and better. It's never going to catch all people. It's never going to do right by all people. Right? But I believe that systems can help. And I believe in a safety net. If you lose your job, I don't think you should be destitute. Right? I don't believe in these monopolies and near monopolies. There's a reason why I'm on the political left. And the monopsonies? Because monopoly is the producers, and I think monopsonies are the buyers. It's like if you have just like one buyer. Is it monopsony? It's not monopsonies. Big Kev, what is it called again? Right? Oh, okay. The Spain man said that's correct. Right. Oh, Mr. Shook to you. Thank you for for the super chat. And Mr. Shook to you said it's a cruel cycle, Mr. Z. Listen, absolutely beyond cruel, right? Spaceman said I haven't listened to Hassan since he left TYT. I listen in every once in a blue, right? And he was interesting on TYT. You know, he was alright. And I remember somebody mentioned him on a channel once, and I was like, who? But I didn't realize they were talking about that Hassan, right? Even AB mentioned, who did AB mention once? And I was like, who? And then I was like, oh yeah, I've been subscribed to Breadwinning for like a decade, right? Okay, here's monopsony. Okay. Yeah, the supplier. Thank you. Right. You know, so I'm open to have that conversation, but I want something genuine because it's needed. If the black community ever hopes to salvage whatever the hell is left of these ashes, right? As BGS said before, now you're going to have to fight to keep a community. The gates are open now. If you want to still be black and you want to still have a black community and have black children, you're going to have to fight for it. Because they found another way to regulate you. So if you want to keep this thing, you're going to have to fight for it. And it looked like a lot of black people got 1 foot in and 1 foot out. I want to do my own thing and not be limited to what this black thing means, but at the same time, I still want to be black though. I want to advocate for me, and only me. But I still want to be black though. I want to have selfish politics, but I still want to see other black people win. What? Right? I want to just focus on my subgroup of black people, but then I still want to marry a black man. What? I want to hyper focus on black women, but I still want to see black men be married to black women. What? Right? And thank you for the super chat. And Big Kev says they didn't want a community. They wanted to run, and he said quotes, they wanted to run, promote female supremacy and or beg for white leftist validation. Yes. Yeah. Get a pat on the head from Miss Ann and Uncle Charlie. Right? Mr. Charlie, excuse me. Mr. Charlie. And if that's what you're here for, then go by all means. But don't expect black men to be on board with that. Right? Don't go on Roland Martin's show trying to take off Ice Cube's head because you probably have a secret deal with the Democrats and Ice Cube's getting in the way. Right? Talking about your death threats. You're supposed to be a air quotes civil rights leader, right? Right? You're supposed to be advocating for black people, right? Nobody told you that's what come with the territory. They're sending me death threats. What do you think about that, Cube? That's all? She lucky she called Cube and not me. Miss Alicia Garza, you lucky you called Cube and not me. Right? From Medgar Evers to Martin Luther King to Malcolm X, right? To Fred Hampton, how you think this go? By the way, you weren't really advocating for black people. But for sake of the conversation, how do you think this goes? If you advocating for black people in this society, sometimes you're going to have to pay the ultimate sacrifice. That's if they don't let you stay alive and then destroy your career in front of your face. I don't know which one is worse. Death or watching you build something and then watching you say, oh, wait a minute, nigga, you think you gonna fight for black people? Oh, let me tear all of this down in front of your face. Hit them with some great charges. So, dear FD, y'all need to talk to the Alicia Garzas of the world. You know, the ones that's not over here hiding money and playing with the people's money. Buying $2 million mansions and whatnot. The Patrice Cullors of the world. Y'all need to talk to them about what leadership actually looked like, number one. And number two, that if you were really advocating for black people, you weren't. What that might look like. And then remind them of, I don't know, Darren Seals. Right? Y'all want the leadership position, you know sometimes it come with a bullet, right? You want to be the face, you want to be the advocate for black people, you know sometimes it comes with a bullet, right? Oh yeah, no, we could get real dark. It means them hounding your family. It means them following you. It means them waiting for you to slip up so they could take your head off. Y'all were playing with people's money. They still ain't take all of y'all out. They let you be sanctioned or let your own people regulate you. Oh hell no. Not if you were a real threat. That let us know that you're not no real threat. So I'll end it out right there for real. There you go, better you. There go 2 or 3. Right? So I'll truly end it out right there. Once again, shout out to you, BGS. Thank you for the shout out. Thank Ed for the shout out yesterday on Bernard Riley's channel. Thank you. And yes, I'm prepared to have the conversation with these people. I'm gonna sharpen up on my notes, right, and my particular talking points that I want to get ready. Like I told y'all, what that was last week. Let's have our 60-second spiel ready, right, for all of us. You know, the elevator pitch, because it's important, and we're in the place now where there might be legislation that could be worked on, right? That's important. As I said, this is bigger than the women. The women are important in this conversation, but it's bigger than the women. Right? And I think I need to make a video about that. The women don't actually want, and I mean, man, we got like 2 years of content from Kevin just showing that. And then other content creators all over YouTube just showing, like, You got women that's kicking butt, making money, people of note, status, and they telling you got multi-million-dollar women telling you what they ain't gonna settle for. Bitch, you the breadwinner. There's only 56 million millionaires on the planet, lady. I'll be nice and say 60. I'll double it for you and say 120. 120 millionaires, 120 million millionaires on a planet of 8 billion people. You're one of them. Good luck finding another one. And you got women like that telling you what they're not going to settle for. Lady, if you don't end up with another rich million, yeah, you are. Yes, you are. Or go eat some vagina. Right? Then you got women on the bottom earning 30 grand a year telling you what they're not going to settle for. Lady. So that is something that needs to be addressed, because the intimacy part of the man woman conversation, particularly the black man black woman part of the conversation, is important, and that's how we're getting to where we are now. The anger, the spite, the rage that people feel about their intimate lives does affect their politics. The way they speak, the way they advocate, the way they see the opposite sex, even the gender roles they play. Right? As me, Dr. T was speaking about, and shout out to Dr. T, conditional lesbianism. And there's a whole lot of conditional lesbianism in the black community. Stop calling them bi. I mean, functionally they're bisexual, but call it what it really is. It's conditional lesbianism. I don't want to be lonely. I don't want to be single. I would prefer a man. Once again, women are saying they would prefer a man, but they're either too insufferable, not attractive in the least, a-holes. So they end up being, y'all ever heard gay for stay? They're essentially gay for stay. They're the women version of gay for stay. Right. And on that note, I'll end out with this Mr. Shook to you comment, because I think it's very important. And he says, I asked my wife how many times she's been pulled over or had police interactions. Only twice versus the hundreds of times for myself. We share the same complexion but live entirely different experiences. And that's okay. The problem is, as these black women are at the helm, and they've been at the helm since the plantation, but definitely over the past 60 or so years, they've been at the helm, and they can't really show you anything they've done for black men. Right? They don't have to fully comprehend or grasp black male experience. That if you got to put on the sweet voice for Becky, what you think we got to do? If you are tired of having to censor yourself so you're not seen as threatening, then what do you think black men have to do? And I'm saying that as a brother that's 5'9". I could imagine you 6'2", 6'3", 6'4" brothers, especially with some muscle. I could imagine, especially you darker skinned brothers, I can imagine. We don't need them to 100% understand our experiences. We need them to do their damn job and advocate for black men and boys, and stop lecturing down to black men and boys. Educate your son so your daughters can have someone to marry. Do right by your sons so your sons could do right by you and the black community. Oh, I forgot. Y'all would much rather street fight for the white dudes on top. Okay, that part. Protect your black boys that are part of the upper class. So your upper class daughters could have someone to date and marry. Right? You petite bourgeois black women and you elite black women, what have you been doing for 60 years? What have you been doing? Right? And on that note, for real, I'll end it out right here. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Love, peace, and chicken grease. I'll pause right here. Y'all go check out other Black Manosphere content so we could be prepared. This is why I shout out Dr. Green Gorilla, Dr. T. Hassan Johnson, Dr. Ron O'Neill, Dr. Dunbar, right? All the docs in the space, all of us content creators that come up with random stuff. Check our community tabs for charts and data points and statistics and quotes and all that other good stuff, right? And Lion says, salute, Mr. Z. You calling FD for another round? Yeah, I kind of am. Not right now, though. Mr. Z got to go to sleep. Got to go inside, take a shower, and go to sleep, right? But, yes. And on that note, we'll truly end it here. And better you said, I knew you had another two closes in you, Z. And shout out to you, Rogan. Brother, shout out. Right. Rogish, Toya, there's a couple of people that have been advocating and pushing me, right, since the beginning. Gold Professor, The Roger Report, Ed, AB, Charles, right? Shout out to y'all. Commons, right? Trail, Indigo, all of you guys. Better you, right? Shout out. 18th letter, all of you. Spain man, right? So, I'll end it out right here. And thank you for, giving this little Haitian American kid, some chance at your ears, and I'm gonna try to do right by black people, definitely right by black men with my little channel. I'm gonna try. Right. When they say you gotta leave the world just a little bit better than you found it, hopefully. So on that note, let's end it out right here. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Once again, go check out other Black Manosphere content and other non-Manosphere content so you can know what's going on in this damn world. All right. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Mr. Z out.